Hi there and welcome to the Fed Talks. My name is Nathan Hall and today we're joined by Bobby Singh, one of our Fed members. Today we're going to be talking about social media, which came on absolute leaps and bounds in terms of independent retailing, and it's becoming really important to a lot of businesses. So we're going to be looking at some tips and advice for independent retailers watching this video. Before we dive into it, we're going to get some insight from Bobby. Bobby, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us about your store for the retailers watching before we start?
Hi Nathan, I'm Bobby Singh, retailer from Pontefract. My parents bought our first store in Pontefract. It's been 40 years now since we've had that store. So that's me, Bobby Singh, retailer from Pontefract.
Fantastic. Great to have you on again, Bobby. So to start off, in today's day and age, Bobby, why do you think social media is so important for independent retailers? And personally, how has it impacted your business?
Social media is very important in this day and age, I believe, for us retailers and our businesses. And it's added great value to our businesses, Nathan, regarding the reach we get through our social platforms and that the exposure, and then at the end the uplifts in sales and enhancing our business. So they're amazing marketing tools. What we've got our hand are our social platforms and the media the content that we create on it. The reach goes not just to our local community but to the whole town and beyond. So I think they're massive assets.
Exactly, Bobby. On the topic of content, what type of content works best for you? What do you really think engages with your local community? And also, which platforms are you using?
So regarding content, Nathan, whenever we're creating a post or whether that's for a new product launch, whether that's for an activation happening in store, or whether that's for an event we're going to be having in store, I always think from the front backwards. So what I mean by that is I always think, what message do I want to get out there to the viewer, to our community, to our customers, first and foremost. So keeping that first key in mind, then it's all about creating the engagement, making the content so I get that attention of the customer. And that's where I suppose, you can be creative in your posts and make them striking using emojis, even better using digital assets from great brands that support us with. And also, if you like to, you can make I call them creative videos, but my wife calls them, as I said, crazy videos. Just a bit of fun and engagement, really. But the key thing is that the message you want to get out there and what you want to promote and market, you have that key focus in mind and make sure that is delivered amongst all the fun and engagement with your viewers. So again, look at your content as a viewer, I suppose, and see if that gets the message across and promotes or markets what you're trying to do there.
Yeah, that puts the message perfectly, Bobby. Are you using all of the platforms? So the ones that spring to mind are the likes of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Are you on everything?
Yes, so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, yeah, they're the main key platforms that we use to do again all these. So I come from an era, Nathan, where these platforms didn't exist. So I'm showing my age a little bit here, and we used to have promotional leaflets and put them in our local papers. We used to go out delivering door to door and getting chased by dogs out of gardens and stuff. So this is me seeing a time when these platforms wasn't here, and now I'm here with these amazing marketing tools at our hands. As I say, and it's out of our from a click of a button, you're getting straight to the consumer's hands because it's all on everybody's phones. Majority of people are active on social platforms, so these tools are amazing platforms. And I think it's a bit of a no-brainer to when you use them effectively, they add great value to your business.
Yeah, you're right, Bobby. They are crucial. And most importantly, it's free. You just need to have a bit of creativity. Bobby, many retailers look at social media, and I've had this conversation with plenty, and they think, I've not got the time for that, so I'm running a shop. So how do you balance someone that does social media very well? How do you balance running the shop, but also making sure you're doing social media effectively?
I feel there's a bit of and I suppose I would them retailers as well at one point thinking, yeah, you know, when am I supposed to get time to create content or do this? You know, I'm rushed off my feet already. Um, but the truth be known is, it doesn't take a lot of your time to create a creative post or to make a little video.
Mhm.
And as you do it more often, you know, you learn little tips and tricks here and there how to do it quickly. I did a post this morning. It took me 5 minutes, to be honest. What a little promotional video. So it, I want to get rid of that delusion of that. You know, these things take great time. It doesn't take a lot of time, but what I would say is, what time it does take is well invested, because what the uplifts of sales and value added to your business, what you get from that exposure, far outweighs what little bit of time you invest. So again, it's all about using these marketing tools effectively, and seeing the uplifts about it.
Yeah, exactly, Bobby. Yeah, and I know you're a retailer that is, you love to see what other retailers are doing. So I assume you follow some other store pages. When you see retailers starting out on social media, do you see them make any mistakes? And what would you advise them to do differently?
So again, I think the whole social media and technology is a journey for all retailers, and I've learned as I've gone along how to really, you know, use the social media platforms more effectively. And I do see other social retailers using it more effectively than me. So I learn from them. But as you say, there are retailers that are just starting out. What I would say is exactly what I've just said before. Make sure the focus of your message or what you're promoting, you keep that as that that message is going to go out there, and
Mhm.
that's going to go out there effectively. And then it is key to make sure to see how you're going to grab that attention of your customer or your community. Um, the key parts are, when just scroll along yourself and look at, as you say, other retailers, and actually think, all right, this is actually attracted my attention. Or, and as you know, we're in a day and age now where we soon get bored of things as well, so it gets a bit monotonous. So this is it. So there is a formula to keep your message as key focus, but again, you do have to see what's trending, what's viral. One of my great, I was asked the other day, you know, what software would you recommend? And I said it's my kids. So the whole essence behind that is that we're learning every day, and from, you know, the younger generation, what's viral, what's trending. Again, bring a bit of that into it, into your content and things, and it just all of end of the day, the whole marketing on social platform and your social media is to try and connect with as many people as you can, and then changing that connection into sales and value into your store.
Exactly, Bobby. I've heard that from a lot of retailers actually, that they use their kids to work out what trends are and then to jump on the back of them. So that's amazing to hear. And then just to finish off, obviously the aim of this video is there's a lot of retailers out there that are missing a trick by not having any social media accounts at all. So we want to get retailers on board with it. So what would your one piece of advice be to someone that has got no social media accounts and they are just giving it a go? How can they build engagement and get people into the store through Facebook and Instagram, for example?
So what I would say to that retailer who's new to social media or social platform, or who hasn't visited their social media platform for a while, what I would say is it's been a massive game changer for us. It's added great value to our businesses. And what I would say is when you do look at your social media, you do look at your social platforms, and what you're going to promote and activate, it's not just you're looking at it, not just your local community looking at it, but it's your whole town and the whole nation that's looking at it. And so you don't just gain from your local community and your local sales, but you gain the whole nation. You get that exposure, and your business gets that exposure to the whole nation. So that, again, which includes a lot of brands out there that are looking at your social platforms, and that gains a lot of value where brands come and like to work with you and do activations and etc. So these platforms, as I say, are massive marketing tools, and it's just learning the tips and tricks of how to use them effectively. And one more thing I would say is that once we've done activations or promotions and on our social platforms, the one crucial part is actually measuring the data and seeing what kind of impact and growth it's had on our businesses. Again, I can tell you now, so we use a bit of a 3-method step regarding formula regarding putting out social media out there. So the first one is put a creative post or some digital assets informing the customer, and not just informing the customer when say an activation or an event's happening or a new product's coming in, but what that does is creates the buzz and set beforehand with the customer, getting excited that, all right, this is happening on this day, and then actually executing it. So when the new products is launching on that day, or we're having the activation, then executing it with, showcasing the theatre in your store on your social platforms, and that engagement with your customers. And then again, the third and the crucial part is actually measuring and seeing what with your data, what kind of impact and growth it's actually had. And then from that measurement, you can actually finesse and harness effectively going forward, and seeing what actually works and what we need to tweak a little bit, and which platforms are bringing more customers in. So this is so as I say, we always stick to that three-step rule. And again, when we look at our data and we see the growth regarding an event, regarding an activation, regarding new product promotion, the stats speak for themselves, and they're through the roof.
Yeah, you're right, Bobby. You've hit the nail on the head. Absolutely right. I think it's really important that retailers, if they're not doing it, they have a look and they start using social media. In today's landscape, it's really important. So thank you so much for coming on, first of all, Bobby. Very much appreciated. I'm sure a lot of retailers will reap benefits from what you've said today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Thank you for having me on, Nathan.